We now return to horsepower on Modern Marvels. Welcome to Waukesha, Wisconsin, a tranquil, unassuming town in Middle America. However, it's also home to incredible horsepower. Here, at Waukesha Engine.
Many people have maybe never heard the name of Waukesha Engine, but it's out there producing power throughout the world.
In this 1 million square foot factory, more than 800 workers design, build, and ship mammoth engine generators that deliver essential electric power around the globe. One of the largest in the world is the Advanced Power Generation System, or APG 3000, which produces 4,400 horsepower.
Waukesha engines are about horsepower, pure and simple. The way that we get that horsepower is we throw a lot of iron at it. The pistons are bigger, the block is bigger, the connecting rods, everything's just bigger, beefier to handle the durability and reliability that the customers demand.
The APG engine is 11 feet high and 25 feet long, and it weighs in at a massive 40 tons. It's a big engine with an even bigger job to perform.
The customers that buy these engines are in very critical applications. In a lot of places, we are their only source of electricity, be it in foreign countries where there is no electrical grid, be it in hospitals where if there's a power outage, they cannot go down because people's lives often depend on these engines operating reliably for as long as they can.
These engines use an internal combustion system that employs pistons connected to a crankshaft, much like in a car. Besides the size, the biggest difference is the fuel. Instead of gasoline, the APG runs on natural gas.
Natural gas is a very clean-burning fuel and very friendly to the environment, much more so than gasoline. It's very plentiful around the world in remote locations, so it's easily available, and it's definitely becoming a fuel of the future.
The APG can draw natural gas straight from ground deposits, or even draw methane gas from a garbage landfill. It always has a steady supply of power and never has to be refueled. This combination of engine and generator is known as an enginator.
The enginators are designed to last for years and years. Most of the major components last for the lifetime of the engine.
Construction of the APG begins when raw stock from an iron foundry is delivered. It'll take up to 4 weeks before the 8,700-pound crankcase and 3,700-pound crankshaft reach what is known as engine tolerance.
Tolerances are how close these parts fit together. They have to seal a lot of pressure from combustion, and there's a lot of moving parts. And because you're going through so many cycles, it's important that their fit be extremely close.
The crankshaft is hauled onto a computerized lathe, where almost a quarter of its size will be shaved off.
We'll be removing 600 pounds from this crankshaft as it's processed down the line. We'll be finishing those diameters down to the width of a human hair. We need this exacting tolerance in order for the engine to operate properly in the field.
The main part of the engine, the crankcase, undergoes a process known as machining, in which computer-assisted cutting tools drill cylinders for the pistons that will eventually be installed.
We machine off over 1,500 pounds to get that piece of iron into the dimensions.
The 42-pound pistons also go through the machining process until they shine like jewels.
These are aluminum pistons, and when you machine them, they get this shiny appearance, but don't let that fool you. When these are in operation in the engine, it's a very harsh environment. When you have this combustion, this huge explosion that goes on in the cylinder, this piston has to withstand that pressure, which can be as high as 2,000 pounds per square inch. And that's what creates your horsepower that's transmitted out the crankshaft.
When all All the main engine parts are ready for assembly. They're placed on a rollover. It's something like an enormous engine rotisserie.
On the rollover that you see on the assembly line, where the crankcase is first mated with the crankshaft and the other major components, you're really looking at the birth of an engine. That's where it all comes together, and that's where it starts its life.
The last stage for the APG engine is a break-in test.
It's a 5-hour test. We gradually increase the speeds and loads. This allows us to break in the components. Remember, there's many tight tolerances that need to be carefully broken in so the product will last a long time.
And maybe there's still greater horsepower to come from these Waukesha giants.
Horsepower will get higher in steps, but in order to get there, the engineers will have to look at things such as new metals, new controls, new emissions technologies to get that horsepower up to, say, 15 to 20% higher out of the same weight of iron.
Waukesha engines are painted bright orange and roar while operating. These features have earned them the nickname Thunder Pumpkins. Horsepower will return on Modern Marvels.